This is Smoking Out the Closet. Now, here are your hosts.
Hi, I'm Rayven. I use she, her pronouns.
Hi, I'm Asmodeus. I use they, them pronouns.
And welcome back to another episode of
Smoking Out the Closet.
For those of you who are new or just joining us, we are a queer podcast
Pun intended.
that talks about cannabis,
The LGBT community,
and everything in between.
and beyond.
So welcome.
Welcome.
Oh boy, this product. I didn't bring it upstairs. Fuck. It's okay.
That's all good.
Because I got the cheat sheet. So we have the PAX Plus, which we recently gotten from our friends at PAX as a little gift box. And we got this a month or two ago.
I think so at this point.
And I've been holding off using it because I actually wanted to do a review on it because I know some dispensaries, mine included, sells PAX products.
Yeah, mine does as well.
So I wanted to give this a fair shot and kind of not do we were not sponsored by PAX. We just messaged them saying, hey, do you guys have any products that we could review for the show? And they generously gave us the PAX Plus.
And a lot of cool stickers.
Yes, we have an unboxing video. It is on our Instagram if you want to check that out. I'm actually slowly uploading our Instagram review, unboxing things, to YouTube Shorts while I'm also uploading slowly on YouTube our podcast.
Sweet.
So anyway, so the PAX Plus is really nice because it can do concentrates and flower.
Yeah.
But I was looking it up. It does not have app capability. That is only for the PAX 3 and the PAX Era Plus.
If that's something that's important to you, something to take into consideration.
Because, a lot of apps for concentrates can do temperature control and everything. But also, to be fair, if you have an Android, it's going to be very hard to use the app. Because Google Play Store, I think it's still called, does not support anything cannabis related, really.
And neither does the Apple App Store.
No, they do.
They do?
They do.
I didn't think they did.
I looked into it just to make sure. But I think it was a year or two ago. Oh yeah, I'm wiggling this thing. A year or two ago, Apple said they were not going to block any cannabis related apps going onto their store. That's why some companies like ZenLeaf now has a ZenLeaf Plus, but it's only for online orders and all that. Only works. It's only available on the iOS store. Boo. Yeah. I really like this though because it shows you how to if you want to use flour, here's what you do. If you want to use concentrates, here's what you do. It's really simple. You hit the top or the mouthpieces for 2 seconds to turn it on, and if you hold it for 5 seconds, it'll cycle through the 4 modes it has.
Okay.
So it has stealth mode, produces minimal vapor, dim LEDs, and vibration settings for discrete sessions. Great for concerts. Efficiency mode conserves material for longer lasting sessions. So you're doing it in a big group. I think that's really cool.
That is pretty cool.
Flavor mode delivers a balance of flavor and vapor through your session. And then boost mode provides maximum vapor production, ideal for concentrates, which I put it on the boost mode.
Which, that was really nice and smooth.
So, if you watched our unpacking video, you saw that it came with 2 different mouthpieces, a flat and a raised. The oven thing, it came with a screen already in it for flour, but it comes with 3 additional screens, a regular lid for the flour, or a half pack if you want to use smaller amounts of bud. And then it has the concentrate chamber and everything, and a multi-tool.
Which I took a picture of that with the device, and I propped it up with the concentrate we used. We're going to be uploading that picture later to Instagram and all the places.
Yeah, and we used Rhythm's White Durban because we reviewed that concentrate before, so we were figuring we know what that's like. We've used it before. Let's just use it so we have something that will work and not be affected by the strain we're using. What did you think of it?
I really liked it. It's on the same level as like the Dr. Dabber, the Boost Evo 3 we have from Dr. Dabber. The same clean hit. I think that the packs actually delivered like a smoother hit for me with the what mode do we have it on?
Boost.
The boost mode.
Yeah.
So I feel like that gave me a nicer, like more even hit. I'm a person who coughs a lot. Whenever I take dabs, I will cough my entire lungs out. I don't feel like I did that with this, and I do that with my Evo. But like, it's really nice. It does get warm to the touch, kind of uncomfortable to hold after a session or two. Definitely a thing where you might be able to run 2 sessions with it for concentrate, then you have to let it sit and cool down.
To be fair, I feel like any handheld vaporizer does that.
Yeah,
like,
our Da Vinci gets hot like that too.
So I didn't use that as a calculation for the efficiency or anything.
I didn't either. It's just something I noticed.
Yeah.
But if it's like cold outside, there you go.
Yeah,
Use
keep your hands warm in the winter.
Yeah,
especially here in PA.
It's a nice little device. I really like it. It's smooth. It works well. I'm excited to see how it does with flour. But yeah, I gave it a 4.2. It's really nice. I really like it. It's lightweight. It's easy. It's portable. It comes with that cute little like dab tool, multi-tool keychain, which is also super neat. Yeah, it looks like it'll be really easy to clean.
And so I've had PAX products before, thanks to some of my coworkers. And I know the dry herb vaporized side of it, and the same tech that went into this for the dry herb vaporizers went into this for the dry herb side. They just added an adapter piece for the concentrates, along with the other technical side of it, like the board and the settings and everything. But there's not much change between this and the Era line.
Okay.
And then the 3 was an even continuation of this. I gotta say, I gave it a 4 out of 5. Because I am comparing this to other handheld concentrate vaporizers, other handheld vaporizers for flower, and the Boost Evo and Puffco products. Now, I actually think this is a lot better than the Puffco Plus.
Yeah.
The handheld pen shaped one. It gives a smoother hit. But it's not as stealthy.
Yeah.
That's not any part of the review. It's just other than the hit consistency, like you said. Stealth wise, it's a little more bulky. It's not as easy to pass off as a nicotine a pen. So some people may have issues with that. Honestly, I like that it's a little bulkier. It fits in my hand a bit better.
Yeah.
And so I really liked it. The big things for me for it was the flavor, the modes, the availability to use concentrates and flour in a device. Now, technically, our Da Vinci could do that, but you need to pay an additional $15 to get the adapter piece for it. This comes with it automatically, so that is a good plus for it.
Absolutely.
Downside, I actually felt it was a little harsher for me. I don't know if you noticed, but I was actually coughing a lot more.
Yeah.
Where the Boost Evo, because it's a water bubbler system, kind of takes off a lot of that harshness, I feel like.
Yeah.
But that being said, it is still smoother than the Puffco devices that I've had. Now, honestly, I don't remember what the price is because we didn't pay for it.
Yeah, no.
And I just want to be super clear about this. I will send messages to companies being like, hey, I've seen your products around. I want to give it a shot for the podcast so we could do a review on it, because we're still paying a lot of this out of the pocket and we haven't gotten a lot of influx back into the podcast, and we just moved.
Yeah.
So a lot of our money kind of went to that. So it's nice when companies kind of be like, hey, you guys are a podcaster, cool, we'll send you something, kind of thing like this.
Yeah. Even if it's just like a, hey, thanks for reaching out, and we'll send you like a package of things.
Of like swag, like we did with Terrapin.
Yeah.
That was cool. I really like those Terrapin shirts I have.
Yeah.
The biggest straw, and you already draw back, and you already said this, it does get very hot. And cleaning, it's not going to be hard. I can already tell, because literally it's just 2 pieces you have to swap out, and with the resin blaster we got from Blazing Susan, that came off really easy.
Oh yeah.
um
Which, if you haven't already, go buy some of that.
Yeah.
And clean your glass. I know it's dirty. I'm talking to everybody listening right now.
And yourself.
Yeah, and myself.
Also, use our discount code in the show notes.
Yes.
Yeah, to get 20% off on us. But yeah, no, I thought it was really good. I really liked it.
I like it too. Another very good device, PAX. I've had the battery, the Plus battery, PAX Plus battery, that has the Bluetooth capability to it. I have not been able to find a lot of PAX pods, unfortunately. I think Rhythm's the only one in the state of PA right now that's still producing them.
At least giving it to dispensaries on our side of the state.
Yeah.
I haven't seen much even on like East PA either, but who knows?
Those PAX pods were great though too.
I give it a 4 out of 5.
Give it a 4.20 out of 5.
So big news. I got to email them back. I just remembered it. Trans Uniting was the first person, I think, who said anything about this, and is the reason why I know about this at all. So first off, shout out to them. They're actually my Skittles of the week. I'm bringing that back.
Heck yeah.
I know I didn't clue you in on this one, but I'm gonna try bringing this back. So check out Trans Uniting. They're a really great trans-based organization here in the Pittsburgh area. I want to try doing fundraising stuff with them in some fashion.
Heck yeah.
They posted a few days ago about the Pennsylvania City Council, I believe. Here, let me pull up my show notes. But a measure was passed by the Pittsburgh City Council, passed a proposed bill that would make Pittsburgh a sanctuary for gender-affirming care.
I also apologize. I did have that muted.
It's okay. So what does that mean essentially? So first thing that has to happen, it still needs to be sent to the mayor, and I don't think that's happened as of recording yet. For him to sign off to make Pittsburgh a sanctuary for gender affirming care for trans and non-binary people, or just in general. So what does a sanctuary like that mean? It means Pittsburgh will be a safe haven for those in the city and outside of the city to receive gender affirming care, and will not send people back who receive it and will be persecuted in their state, or are being actively and go to Pittsburgh to do this. As well as prioritizing persecution of people seeking a gender-affirming care should the state or Commonwealth, whatever you consider it, of Pennsylvania or federal government make it illegal. But the folks at Trans Uniting have said on the news, and I apologize, I can't remember their names off the top of my head. I didn't add it to my notes. That there's a lot of work to be done still. Pittsburgh needs to get real ready for influx of people. Not even just temporary people coming in for affirming care, because we need more doctors, we need more nurses, we need more infrastructure, we need more
affordable housing
for people to be able to move in and actually live in the city. But that's a good thing though, because it's going to there's going to be more jobs and everything as well. But hang on, I gotta get a little more comfortable. It's going to be a lot of work still, because that means more traffic.
Yeah.
That means more people using the roads.
Yeah.
That means more houses are going to need to be rented out.
More wear and tear on the roads, more potholes. Let's
more
hope we don't swallow another bus.
Thank you for bringing that up. More buses are going to be needed.
We're going to need more bus drivers, more people driving the T's.
So there's a lot that needs to happen before we get to the point of being, yes, fully a sanctuary city, but that also does put in a plan of with that deprioritizing part. Should it be illegal, either in PA as itself or the federal level, they can't say anything about it because we're so like, well, technically, we still do go after them. We just put it at the bottom of the barrel.
It's the bottom of the list. We'll get to it.
We'll get to it when we get to it. And you know how Pittsburghers are when they're like that. Yeah, I'll get to it when I get to it. Don't you worry. Meanwhile, 5 years later, that person still hasn't even worked on whatever he's supposed to be working on.
I probably forgot at that point.
So,
but yeah, this is amazing though. Like this
Mhm.
is a big step for Pittsburgh.
It
And it makes
is.
me really proud to live here.
It makes me feel safe. I've never once had anyone. I've had people make some weird comments to me. But I've never had anyone actively come up to me and say like, spew transphobia or whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen people spew it out, but I also think those people are from outside the city area. But I've never once had anyone actively say like, "Oh, you're this, you're that." I've had people clock me at work, or recognize my PIN.
Yeah.
And will ask me questions sometimes. Some of them are a little weird. Some of them are like, "Oh, I just want you to know that," and I don't know why they feel like they have to say it, but I appreciate it. That I see you and you are valid kind of things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool. What weed do you want?
just yeah.
Of course, I also wear a hat to work very often.
Very queer hat.
Yeah, and it says, "Let me be perfectly queer." And now that I'm wearing it front ways a little more to shield my eyes from the lights at work. I noticed that a lot of people were like, "Oh, I like your hat," and I'd be like, "Oh, my kid's gay. I think they would like your hat," or my nephew, or whatever,
Yeah.
or my niece, or my wife's kid, or like my sister's kid, and I'm like, "Cool, you can get it at Spencer's. That's where I bought it." Oh, there was another thing. Let me pull up my notes again. That I wanted to add to it because of people telling me things. I mean, people hearing things about it. If you are, I will say the current generation of stoners and things since 2020 have changed a little bit. Sessions aren't really a whole lot of people sharing the joint. A lot of people have their own products that they use or anything. Because spit, everything, there's still a virus going around.
Yeah.
And people are generally just a little more health conscious when it comes to transferable diseases and illnesses with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. But we did a previous episode about rules for your sesh. Again, puff ass, all that, don't be an asshole, all that jazz. I'll put a link to that episode if I can find it and remember in the show notes. But I want to add some rules to it because I've heard a lot of horror stories lately.
I'm intrigued.
As with everything, consent is mandatory. I want to repeat that real fast. Consent is mandatory. I'm talking to you specifically, you Chad and Chuds of the cannabis world, you fucking Cannabro dickbags. Or I'm sorry, I'm a Pittsburgher now. You Cannabro jagoffs.
There you go.
I've heard a lot of people talk about one major thing is pressure with smoking groups. Oh, you gotta finish the joint. Oh, you gotta finish the bong. You gotta take the whole hit of the grav bong. Whatever. And a lot of people feel comfortable and will go way too far of what they want to be doing this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's very upsetting. I've heard, and a lot of it, I feel like, from what I've seen, is more feminine leaning people, like femme, thems, and like women
Mm-hmm.
side of the spectrum. I don't see it more of like being done or to the masculine folks, but there are events that do happen like that. I'm not saying it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just from what I've seen in my little bubble. And it's really bad because, you know, some of the people I work with have experience with this and have talked about how, like, oh, they overfilled it and they made me finish it and they made me like do a full bong rip of like a full piece, like filled, and made me do it in one hit kind of thing. And I'm like, dude, not everybody can do that shit.
No.
And it's horrible. And then you also have people who are like, and this one I've discussed me, and I've known it's been a thing in the cannabis world for a minute, is those sleazy, slightly older, and Reddit reaffirmed it for me and reminded me about it. The sleazy guys who sell weed just to pick up chicks.
Ugh, yeah.
You assholes knock the fuck off, too. Get the fuck out of our community. We don't fucking want you.
Disgusting.
Yeah, because, like, there was, like, an I think it was on r/trees, which is the big cannabis marijuana subreddit.
Yeah.
And someone was talking about one day how she felt uncomfortable buying weed from this guy because as he's gotten to know her a little better, he's kind of pushing her to use it a little more, and then is also kind of hitting on her as they're kind of having a sesh together.
Mm.
And he's always saying, like, why don't you have a sesh while I'm here? Let's smoke together, some of this stuff. And she's like, I just kind of want to smoke my stuff alone.
Mm.
Um,
Just being a real weirdo about the whole thing.
just being kind of a creep. And so that's a thing that needs to fucking stop
Yeah.
in general. And I'm hoping, like, I know the legacy market's not going to go away, traditional market, or whatever you want to call it. Like, you know, someone growing their own stuff or buying it from someone who grows and then selling it in a not storefront, that's not going to go away.
No.
And I don't think it should. You know, treat it like alcohol. I can make mead in my basement and sell it to my friends. Why can't I do that with weed?
Exactly.
But we need, as a community, to stop these fucking creep ass guys. And also, and I think I've talked about this before, we also need to stop with like the over sexualization of women in our community.
Yeah, that goes along with the whole like Chad bro, weed bro fucking culture of like the over sexualized women of the weed world.
Because like one of the biggest examples of this is that fucking Cookies ad for Florida.
Yeah.
That came out last year. They're like, oh, Cookies is coming down to Florida. And the entire background is like a bunch of girls shaking their asses and everything, and then guys smoking weed. And it's girls in bikinis. Very skimpy bikinis. Shaking their asses. And the guy's just walking through. Cookies coming out this day. Miami. Be there. And I'm like, okay, one, Florida is still at this point, and back then, is a medical only state.
Yeah.
So,
but also, it's Florida.
It's Florida. And I'm like, but then you have like also like Emerald Cubs or like cannabis festivals and everything. Pittsburgh hasn't done it yet, and I'm very thankful for that. But like I've seen it in other states and everything where it's just a table, some guys selling weed, and it's girls in like bikinis. And I'm not like trying to body shame or anything like that. Like if you want to just go out in a skimpy bikini and show off your bod, cool, do that. I don't care. Sex work is work. I get that, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, but it's the fact that the way to pull in a big big demographic of cannabis is to do this.
Well, you know what they say though, like sex sells.
True. But here's the thing. You know what sex sells in
Hmm.
cannabis? Mids. Boof. I don't want boof. Okay, like, yes. Do I like Twin? We'll take, because it opened up not too long ago. Twin Peaks. We went there.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of like a Hooters, but like, bar food,
Flannels
drinks,
and booty
skimpy outfits,
shorts.
and everything.
Yeah.
Cool. I like it. But I genuinely mean this. The food at the Twin Peaks is really good.
Their bacon, what's it called? Bachelor bacon?
The millionaire bacon, or
billionaire bacon or the bachelor bacon or whatever. It's so good because it's like thick hickory smoked bacon with like black pepper seasoning on it. Think like Dunkin'
snackin' bacon.
Snackin' sweet pepper bacon, but like times 1,000. It's so good. But the food's actually good. We go there for the food. The sights are nice.
Yeah. But it's actually genuinely good food. But like when I feel like everything I've seen and heard of like guys doing that and like selling weed, it's just mids or boof. It's mids at best, boof on average.
Have you seen a lot of those cannabis companies like in California that are using basically hentai on their packaging? That's also a thing that's been happening.
Yeah, no. I think that's funny.
It's funny. It is more funny than anything.
But also, like I said, like, cool. If you want to dress up and sell weed in like a bikini, there's a guy. There's a company. I can't remember if it's California, Colorado, or maybe it's Washington, where it's a topless dispensary, and all the girls that work there, tits out, selling weed. Cool. If you're into that, cool. If you want to get that bag, cool. If you want to, what is it? An American Dad, where Haley's like working at a strip club, and the older lady that works behind the bar goes, "What do you mean? Like they're objectifying women? It's the men that are getting objectified. Listen, you take off your top, and these guys hand over all their hard-earned cash."
Yeah, yeah.
And so, like I totally get it, and it's an empowering. I totally get that too, but I don't want that to be the standard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like there's already like this whole like, I want older folks to still feel comfortable about coming in. I want moms who use this and give their kids it as medicine for like autism or brain injuries or whatever, to feel comfortable coming in and everything. And also kind of like just like, let's have a cannabis strip club at the same time,
Yeah.
Let's have both. Let's have best of both worlds. We're not trying to make it everything all at once with the quote unquote objectifying women kind of thing,
Yeah. No, you wanna make it a comfortable community for everyone. You wanna make cannabis accessible and comfortable.
Cannabis.
Make cannabis accessible to everybody. No, it's my brain mouth work. No, I'm sorry.
Make cannabis accessible.
You want to make
for
cannabis
everyone.
accessible and comfortable for everyone to be able to be a part of the community and be able to use it for its medical benefits.
Exactly. Also, I heard that elbow pop.
Yeah, that hurt.
Because usually when you bring in those like Cannabros, they also bring that toxic masculinity to the community and everything. And it's not all of them.
Yeah.
But it's a big chunk of them. Like Burner himself, who owns cookies. Fucking dickwad.
The fucking raw guy kind of has that energy going on too. I said what I said.
He's just fucking weird, and I don't know if that's a character he's portraying or anything. But we said our piece with the raw guy.
Or if he's actually like that, yeah, I don't know.
But we are coming up on our break here.
Okay.
So any final thoughts on that?
No, I don't think so.
Alrighty, we'll be back after a message from one of our affiliate programs. Pretty in Pink and purely wood pulp derived, Blazy Susan pink rolling papers and cones will add a pop of color to your next smoke sesh. Their classic pink papers are naturally dyed, vegan, GMO-free, and food safe. They contain no amounts of heavy metals or pesticides unlike other paper producers. Care about what goes in your lungs with Blazy Susan papers and cones. Use promo code BGSOTC20 at checkout to get 20% off with your friends at Smoking Out the Closet. Plus, get free shipping on orders over $50 in the United States. And we are back. As you got a thing from Qberg.
I do got a thing from Qberg I want to talk about. The title is Trans Serving Fertility Clinic to Open in Pittsburgh. This article was written on September 14th. A fertility clinic dedicated to serving the needs of transgender people will be opening in Pittsburgh next year. The facility, which is a partnership between the Allegheny Reproductive Health Center and MATE Fertility, M-A-T-E Fertility, will offer sperm and egg donation, surrogacy services, in vitro fertilization, hormone therapy, and certain gender-affirming surgeries. The goal is for the clinic to be up and running by the spring of 2024. That's soon. That's next year.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Said Dr. Sheila Ramgopal. I really apologize if I murdered your last name. Who is an OBGYN at ARHC and has been serving the LGBT community and providing gender-affirming care since 2015. ARHC serves Western and Central PA as part of Ohio and West Virginia.
Oh, that's cool.
For a lot of our clients, they've had massive difficulty to access these services, both from an affordability perspective, but also from a safety perspective. Ramgopal said, even the basics, going to a place where they feel safe and feel like an inclusive community, because a lot of providers don't reflect those communities. A lot of the services are actually very tailored for, let's say, affluent cis white women and the heterosexual couples. For non-binary and trans community, there's a massive gap in terms of all of us accessing care for fertility services. For trans and non-binary individuals and couples who need fertility care in the Pittsburgh area, the new clinic will fill a substantial need. The goal is to offer services at 1/3 to 1/2 of the cost of those at other facility centers. That's awesome.
That is.
As a trans couple who is planning to have children, we greatly appreciate you.
And it's really good that they're also doing gender-affirming care, too, because, like, our top surgery doctor, we have the same doc, is, like, one of, what, 2?
Yeah, in the area. And he has a long waiting list.
Uh-huh.
Which I don't know if I've said on the podcast, but I have an appointment in January to go for a consult.
I'm so excited for you. My surgery is coming up here soon.
I'm excited for you.
I'm very scared.
I'll be here for you, babe.
I know, just my first surgery.
No, you got this. We got this. You're good. The article goes on to say, our goal is to make this extremely accessible for people, no matter where you're coming from and what your financial picture is. They added, we know when we center the folks that aren't able to access these services, everyone then gets better care. Ramgopal and MATE Fertility CEO Tracy Keene formed a business partnership a few years ago. They found they both valued bodily autonomy and reproductive justice in their practices, as well as the desire to center patients most in need of fertility and reproductive services, especially the LGBTQ+ and BIPOC communities. MAT's model differs slightly from other fertility clinics, they said. We look at markets that are what we call fertility deserts, or underserved markets, Keene explained, and we try to find OBGYNs because there is a huge delta between the number of people in the United States who need access to care and the number of people who geographically have it, or that can afford the care if they do have access in their market. The only way to start to bridge that gap is to bring OBGYNs to the top of their license, which they can be doing. Aww.
Well, that's good, because then you have, like, you won't have, like, issues where, like, people who are, like, trans or non-binary getting, like, pap smears and, like, checkups there, and then, like, you know, asking for, like, STI testing, even though, you know, you're polyamorous and married.
Yeah. They go on to say that Keene broached the subject of need to provide more targeted reproductive education to different demographics, cishet people as well as queer and trans people. She said that she encounters a lot of cis men who go on testosterone supplements without having first sought out medical counseling about sperm preservation. The same is also true for women going on testosterone, Keene said. There's a lot of different things that people aren't getting educated on. I think there are some real luminaries in the field right now that do a good job of providing more access to high quality information. What we really want to be is the beacon for people where they get their information that's tailored and appropriate to them. According to the National Center for Trans Equality, trans men who have sex with men report a dearth in information about their sexual health at rates to up to 93.8%. In addition, 33% of trans people and 48% of trans men delayed or evaded preventative screenings, including pelvic exams or STI tests, because of concerns that they would be discriminated against or disrespected.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you right now, as a non-binary person, I don't like people looking at my cunt because I'm a non-binary person with a cunt. And the fact, I'm sorry, Mom, I know you listen to this, but that's what I like to call it. The literal fact that my doctor is like, she also does that, but she is very with the LGBT community. I don't feel invalidated when I have to just go get somebody to look at my body to make sure it's functioning properly. And they don't assume bits with gender.
Yes.
Is amazing. Are you having fun over there?
It's just the way you said it, and the anger, and the energy, and it just got me. I love you.
I love you too. They close the article out saying it's almost comical how much faith we place in our doctors for our care when it's a very linear academic approach to education that is not particularly inclusive of some of the softer things, Keene added. I think as we progress, sorry, my phone did a thing. I think as we progress, business models are saying that actually we do need to have these conversations because it's about proper treatment and proper care for people.
Exactly. Because I can't tell you how many times I've gone to like the doctor and like the ER, and it's like a new doctor or something, and it's like, okay, so when was the last time you had your period? Because this is F on my driver's or my state ID, and I'm like, never. And they look at me weird, and they start to get concerned, and then I'm like, I'm a trans woman, I don't have a uterus. And so they go, oh, okay. And then some I've had were like, they cocked an attitude. I was like, oh, we didn't know that. And I'm like, that's why I'm telling you now.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you. You asked the question, I'm telling you the answer.
It was after that interaction I had my primary at the time in state college. She basically be like, yeah, can you put a note in my profile or something? And yet the next time we went in, they texted me if I was pregnant.
Well, good news.
I'm not pregnant.
You're not pregnant.
Oh boy. I love how we both did the same one. I want to talk about, since we have some time, can I bring up some tea?
Sure.
So recently, at a Beetlejuice musical production, Lauren Boebert, Blowhard, I don't even
Blowhard.
Was kicked out for vaping originally, is what she told everybody online and everything.
That's not what the video from the cinema shows.
Oh no, there was more video found. She was vaping at one point. And it wasn't even just like a small little ghost hit trying to hide it or anything. No, she was full on
big ass cloud on
box
the box mod. Listen though, that's not the worst thing that happened in that theater.
No. Because, lo and behold, it was her boyfriend. She's been having an affair with one of the former advisors to Trump's cabinet.
Ew.
And basically, video evidence shows her getting into her seat, and then there was like a diagonal, almost like row behind her, but like a seat or two diagonally from where she was sitting, a child. And what happened during the production?
They were getting fresh.
They were getting funky fresh.
Oh, goodness.
Touching each other, groping each other, pulling tits out, rubbing on a guy's dick. Dick. I don't know why I said it like that, but it was nice. It was a little vocal stem.
They're fucking kids there.
Exactly. There's children there who can't consent to it. Again, consent is fucking mandatory. That's why you don't do shit in public. Like, if you want other eyes and stuff on you, go to fucking Hedonism 3. Go to a kink, club or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to fucking tell you. Don't do it in general public. So, yeah. And, but it's us. It's us, Azzy. As a trans couple, we're corrupting the youth. We're the one that are a bunch of perverts.
Not this Republican couple who are sitting in the fucking theater in front of literal children being sexual. That's how you get put on fucking Megan's Law.
No. Wait.
I mean, that could be. It's endangerment of children, yeah.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure if it's like a sex thing, like a sexual
thing.
Well,
that's how you get registered as a sex offender.
But also wait. You could put on the list.
Yeah, you can put it on the list.
I'm not sure which list. One of the lists.
I can't remember what Megan's Law is now off the top of my head. I used to.
Yeah.
Damn Bramage.
Anyway, that's how you get the book thrown at you.
Yeah,
but
But also,
we're the problem.
Also, my favorite thing is that we're unholy, and she's holding up Christian values as a good Christian wife. This lady has had a 1.5 year affair. And look, if she's poly, cool, I don't care, as long as everyone's consenting and knows. But you can't be saying oh, I'm a good Republican Christian wife. I'm holding I'm going for the whole traditional values and, saving the sanctity of marriage and all that bullshit, and then do this shit.
Can't say one thing and then just do another.
Exactly. Can't have your cake and eat it too.
Nope.
But yeah.
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
So great. I'm trying to think what else to talk about, because that was all I had.
I think that was all I had too.
Oh, actually, I want to talk about Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
No, I don't, because the gaming industry is about to strike, and I don't know if that's happened or not yet or not, so I'm not going to talk about Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
Because I don't want to cross any picket lines by accident. I'm just going to say this. Baldur's Gate, a lot of queer stuff. That's it. I love it. You know what? Actually, no, I'm going to look that up. I am going to look that up. Because I know... it was about to happen. SAG-AFTRA gears up for possible strike against video game industry as boards vote unanimously to send interactive media something. Yeah, it's around the corner. I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
Just support workers, support unions, support workers. Fuck the big CEOs and shit like that.
Just unionize. Also, there was a bill that Biden had passed that you don't need approval from the company that you're working for now to unionize. If there's enough of you, fucking unionize.
Yep.
Just do it.
You just gotta sign some papers and have enough people.
Yeah, there you go. And find a union that's gonna do a negotiation with you.
Mm-hmm.
That'll make a contract up.
Yep. God, what else is going on that's gay and not breaking unions? Man. Fuck, I don't know any good new books or anything. Well, I can plug this because it's not breaking unions or anything. It's weed related. Brian Box Brown's actually getting really big with Legalization Nation. His little online comic. Who he's a Philly based cartoonist.
Oh, that's cool.
So hey Brian, if you hear this, what's up? I'm a cartoonist out here in Pittsburgh. Little collab.
That'd be cool.
Collab when? No, he's pretty cool. He also has this thing coming out. I think it got delayed a little, but it's gonna come out if it hasn't already at this time, called the He-Man Effect, where it talks about like a lot of companies and everything are just regurgitating reboots and nostalgia shit and everything. Like we just had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. Barbie movie came out recently.
This Beetlejuice movie has been quote unquote in the works for how long now?
Like we're just kind of rebooting a lot of stuff lately. And it should be a good, interesting read. Go read it. I'm actually gonna go buy a copy when I get paid soon. But I want to go out and buy a physical copy from a store. Hopefully, the bookstore near where we live can get it for me because I want to shop local.
Mm-hmm. Support local businesses.
Yeah. Or I could just be like, Brian, can I just pay you directly, man? But yeah, actually go read Legalization Nation if you can. He's got a lot of great information and everything. I actually found out about him through the Honeybee Collective because they commissioned him to do kind of like this little ad campaign about the waste the cannabis industry makes. And I've been explaining a lot of that to new patients because they're like, well, can I get a disposable? And after like the first 2 sessions, I hear it even if I'm not helping them. And then when they come in for the 5th time asking for a disposable, I'm going to gently be like, hey, just so you know, well, most companies don't, most companies' disposables are 0.3 grams. You can get a half gram, a little bit more, and you have a wider range of products, and the battery will die, but you can recharge it because most disposables don't have a rechargeable battery like the one I had not too long ago, and it just died halfway through me using it all. Also, I found out really shittily, hey Lab, what happened to your charging ports on your disposable?
Did they take them out?
They took them out.
What the fuck?
This recent batch hasn't had them.
Wow.
I actually got corrected by one of my coworkers because she was like, yeah, no, they don't have them anymore. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Yeah, Lab, what the fuck, guys?
The only ones who did it, and everybody loved it, and they need to go fuck it up. But also, the last lab disposable I had, the top was popped off of it. And the last lab cart I had, I got halfway through the half gram, and then it got so clogged I couldn't even get it unclogged.
Yeah. I will say, they're not, if you want a rechargeable one that's decent size, a little on the expensive side, but you get a half gram worth of it, get the Prime disposables.
They have disposables?
Oh, yeah. They have disposables. Technically, Grassroots does too with their Select Brick, which is a 2 gram disposable.
Yeah, I saw those.
But we're not gonna we're not gonna review it because it's owned by Grassroots, which is owned by Curaleaf, which is that shitty. They're just shitty fucking assholes.
Curaleaf.
Again, reiterating, Curaleaf and Trueleaf and their subsidiaries never gonna get reviewed on our podcast. They can go fuck themselves. And Biavol, God, I've been listening to a lot of Cool Nerd Weed Show again lately, and I just picked that up from Shasha. Every review I've seen on the PA medical marijuana subreddit, horrible. Legit horrible. And I know the select rep that was at the Cannabis Festival listens to our show. You guys gotta fix it. If you're gonna serve people, you're gonna have to fix it. Clogs up really horribly. Battery sucks. Chargeability sucks. Like, people were having issues charging it even.
Good grief.
Like, it's just...
And that's 2 grams.
Yeah.
Worth of just basically garbage at that point.
Also, nobody... how many people go through a 1 gram super fast?
It takes me 2 weeks to go through a 1 gram cart.
Most of my regulars don't even buy... Like, I have people who come in every fucking day and don't even buy a 1 gram cart.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they buy carts every fucking day, and they usually get a half gram cart. But even still, all the issues people say of like, oh, I don't want to get a 1 gram because they clog up too bad or whatever, or this or that, and I don't blame them. What the fuck you think you're going to do for a 2 gram cart?
You're going to get a third of the way through that, and it's just going to clog up, and it's going to be horrible. And then what the fuck are you going to do with it?
And then you take all that and the issues of disposables added to it? Come on.
And it's a built-in battery, so you can't even, like, swap the battery out.
Nope.
There's really nothing you can do to fix it or make it better, except for, like, break it.
Yeah, because the battery
is dangerous.
Exactly. And even if you do, because I guess it's rechargeable, but if the fucking board inside of it gets fried for whatever fucking reason, that's it. It's gone kaput. Don't worry. If you have a 510 thread fucking battery and you accidentally fry it or lose it or drop it or whatever, but you still have the cartridge, guess what? Spend like $10, get another fucking battery. Boom, bing, bang, boom. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Or it does the classic, you try to pull the charger out and the guts come out.
Yeah.
Those are always fun.
Which brings the point. Clean your fucking shit.
Yeah.
Clean your fucking shit. I've noticed that it happens a lot more. And I asked patients, as it happened to me once, have you cleaned your head where you screw it in? Has it been cleaned at all recently? No. That might be why.
Because then it gets sticky and stuck.
Yep.
Even if you, excuse me, if you're having problems with a cart hitting, check the threads, check the connection, see if there's any like pocket lint or like juice or anything weird in there.
Also make sure your top's cleared.
Yeah.
Because of that. That's why I like the AVD seed so much, because of that little hole in the bottom. I can literally throw my cartridge upside down, blow in that hole, phrasing,
and it unclogs it.
And it unclogs it.
But also, if you have a 3-heat battery, generally those have a preheat setting. You click it twice, it'll go up to the next setting, and then it gets hot, and you can suck on it while it's up at that hotter setting, so it'll clear it out.
Exactly. Like, there's so many fucking ways to go around this.
Except for with that fucking lab cart. I don't think that'll ever... you could blow on your seed cartridge all you wanted to, on the clear like hole in the bottom, and I don't think you would have got that cart unstuck.
Also, can we just talk about natural selections cards? I tried giving them the benefit of the doubt.
They rough.
Fucking suck.
Yeah, I couldn't get through the one that I had. I also... What cards did I... The Organic Remedies card, I've had one of those, and it gave me a headache. I don't know what it is, if it's the way that, like, they extract their oil or make their cart. I don't know.
Oh, I actually want to bring up something that reminded me. When you're going shopping for your cannabis product, I've had a patient do this to me and just get super mad and upset because we couldn't return it and because the reasoning and everything. When you're shopping for a product and your reasoning is you want it light colored, be specific on what is light for you, but also that doesn't change any fucking thing. Natural Selections looks dark as hell. Guess what? Their atomizer system on the inside is fucking black.
Yeah.
Verano products look very light. Guess what? Their ceramic atomizers are fucking white.
And it makes it look very light. Your standard, like, cotton atomizer is going to have a metal casing over it. So that's good that if the metal has a variance in it, it's going to make it look different.
It's going to oxidize, but it doesn't change anything. Like, it's... Yeah, she literally was screaming the one day because the products I had was too light. I looked online at recent reviews. They were very light. I looked at the company's website. I looked at the stock photo they gave us. All of it was very light. It was too dark for her, and she wanted to return it. And we can't just... And we discussed on an episode previously, very recently actually, we can't just take stuff back. There's a process. And it was kind of like, it was too dark. Now keep in mind, when I say this is too dark, this is literally like the scene in Jurassic Park 1 where they're shining the light through the amber that has the mosquito encased of it. That's how light it was. It was a very light amber, but it wasn't yellow. And I think she wanted, like, castor oil yellow.
Good grief.
Yeah. It's also like that meme Mia sent us that one day that we shared with everyone that we work with. It's a SpongeBob meme. You know what? We should share it to Instagram as well.
Yes.
And it's a guy coming in and you're like, and it's Squidward is like, what can I do for you today? It's like, what can I do for you today, sir? I like to have an indica. Okay. Highest THC possible. Daring, aren't we?
Yeah, daring today, aren't we?
And like, cool, if you want to shop that way, I will do my best to get you that product, but also try explaining stuff to you. Like, I had a patient, literally in my last shift, was like, no one ever explained this to me. I'm like, well, I'm a useless bag of filled knowledge with cannabis. It just didn't become useful until I started working here. Because it's true. Outside the podcast, I have no use for this knowledge other than buying for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of sad, you know? Because, like, a lot of people don't realize terpenes do have an effect. And a lot of people are saying, like, oh, it's just flavor. It doesn't do anything. Okay, then why is linalool fucking, like, sleep products? Why are these terpenes in over, like, actual products that help people with certain things?
There are some studies, not a lot, not anything extensive, about even just aromatherapy and the way your brain reacts to scents.
And, like, it's really interesting of, like, why people are like, man, I had this sativa and it put me to sleep. I still have the jar here, and I see, like, a sativa vape with, like, 5% myrcene on it. I'm like, yeah, no shit.
That's why.
That's why you fell asleep there, bud. Of course, it's weird. I've noticed a pattern. If I have myrcene by itself, I'm very sleepy. If I have myrcene with terpinolene in it, though, oh boy. I have an energy drink on top of that. I am ready to fight the universe.
You just described the chocolate oranges cart that's in my pocket right now, because it's 2.5% terpinolene and 2.5% myrcene, and boy howdy does it help me get stuff done.
If you want to know more about our terpene and, like, how terpenes work and everything, go back to the episode with something terp talk, because we do a deep dive on how terpenes work and everything on that one.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to bring up in any way, shape, or form.
I don't really think so either. I'm sorry. I'm yawning.
No, you're good. Oh boy. Alright. Well, I think we were good to wrap up then, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, once again, my name is Rayven. I use she, her pronouns.
I'm Asmodeus. I use they, them pronouns.
And this has been another episode of Smoking Out the Closet. Bye.